Welcome to Newsroom Live. I'm your host, Lisa Evers. I'm a Fox 5 News reporter, anchor, and host of the show Street Soldiers here. That's on Fox 5 Fridays at 4:30 and 10:30. Today, I'm in mode as a reporter out here in front of federal court, the Southern District of New York, where Nicolás Maduro and his wife, Celia Flores de Maduro, were just arraigned on major federal charges. I'm joined by my colleague, Michelle Ross, who is right here. She was in the courtroom. She just came out, is going to fill us in on what was happening inside that courthouse. And we're also joined by top criminal defense and federal trial attorney Adam Conta here to break this all down. Thank you guys for joining us. Right now you're looking at video, if it's an armored car that we're showing, of this is the vehicle that is taking Maduro and his wife back to the Metropolitan Detention Center. That is a maximum security level federal detention center in the northern part of Brooklyn on the waterfront. It's where he stayed last night, where they will be staying tonight, and where he will be staying for a number of nights to come as this case moves forward. Let's go right now, though, to Michelle Ross, my colleague, a Fox 5 News reporter and anchor who was inside the courthouse for those proceedings. Michelle, we've covered a lot of big cases here. What struck you about what happened here this afternoon?
So I think towards the end actually was the biggest thing that struck me, because when it came to talking about his wife was in the courtroom with him on opposite sides of their lawyer, and towards the end the lawyer had said that he told the judge, as you can see, she suffered injuries during the capture, but we couldn't see it because, it's the back of her head. But he said that she fractured her ribs and bruised her ribs as well, and they requested x-rays. So it'll be interesting to see if we learn eventually how violent or how, if they resisted being captured. So that was the most interesting part to me at the end. But in the beginning, when he sat down in regular prison garb, sat down, had an orange jumpsuit on with a black shirt over it, orange shoes. And right when he sat down, he had his headphones on to be interpreted, for everything to be interpreted. Right,
because it was an interpreter and he was speaking Spanish. Adam Conta, federal trial attorney. At this stage, they did not make a bail application. How significant is that?
It's really not. If I could say one thing about what kind of sticks out about this is that nothing really sticks out. And I think that's going to be a theme of this case. The court's job here and the attorney's jobs here are going to be, hey, this is just another routine case. We're not doing anything extraordinary. All the surrounding of how he got here, the bells and whistles of being brought in an armored car and in a helicopter, have no moment once you enter this courtroom. He was treated like every other defendant. He was given a court-appointed attorney because this attorney was just on call today. There was nothing special about his appointment. He's just being treated the exact same way anybody else would be in this situation. And I think that's going to continue to hold up. You're going to see him get the same type of accommodations to make sure he has enough time with his discovery.
No VIP suites at the
No VIP at MDC. Right. And so I think that's really something that everyone should really focus on here, because there is so much unusual and extraordinary about everything that led to the moment where they walk into that courtroom. But once they enter the courtroom, it was pretty standard.
Exactly. And let's just talk for a moment about the security inside the courthouse and outside here. We can't do anything about the noise that you're hearing. There's multiple helicopters up in the sky. Right above us, there's an NYPD drone. I'm sure that's not the only one in the area that they have them. Yes, actually it isn't. They have them in the area. They're feeding live video into police headquarters at the Joint Operations Command Center, where they're monitoring everything that goes on here. It's not just intense security around the courthouse building. There are rings of security in this area just to get through. You can see some of these barricades that are here. They are set up all along. They're separating. There were protesters who were here earlier, some in support of the arrests of Maduro and company, and others that were protesting the U.S. action. But in terms of the federal courthouse, Michelle, tell us about getting in, what that was like today.
Yeah, it was definitely a madhouse. People have been inside since overnight trying to get in, and so long line. This is a big case. People want to see it firsthand, and they want to see what happens inside. So some of the lucky few actually did get inside to do that.
And then in terms of the searches, because they do have different levels, which we've seen with some of the other cases of searches as you're going through the security checkpoint. Everyone checks their phone. You check their electronic devices.
Yeah, you can't have your phone in there. You can't have really just a pen and paper, as I have here. Wrote down my notes of everything that happened in there. You go in and then you come out as fast as you can. So
Definitely. Adam, what about the security level for this? I mean, armored car. He's flown in by helicopter, like El Chapo. They did it for El Chapo, but not to this level in the area.
This is the most security I've ever seen for one defendant coming in. The amount of care they took to get him just from Brooklyn and Sunset Park. It's not far to get from Brooklyn to here. It's not like he's, almost in Staten Island where MDC is. He's a couple miles away. A few stops on the N train, you'd be in Atlantic Center, But they went above and beyond, armored car, helicopter. But again, as Michelle was saying, for us to get in, it was the same as everyone else. They're going to make you go through the metal detectors. It's a first come, first serve. This is a public hearing, or it's a public appearance, and so everyone has the right to be there. And so they're going to make sure at the door that everyone is checked very, very carefully. Metal, anything coming out, phones coming out. But for him, I mean, that's what you hear and see right now is the commotion of trying to get him and his wife out of here now and back to MDC in that same ultra secure way that is very unusual for a defendant.
Okay, in case you're just joining us, we are live outside federal court in Lower Manhattan, where Nicolás Maduro and his wife Celia Flores have just been arraigned on federal charges, very serious charges, narco trafficking as an act of terror. We're going to talk about those in a minute, those charges, with attorney Adam Conta. But Michelle, let's go back to Mrs. Maduro, because she said she was injured during this apprehension, as it's being called, and they ordered X-rays for her.
Yeah. So, and not only for her, well, they ordered X-rays for his wife, but Maduro also said that the lawyer said that he is dealing with health issues too. So I guess they're both going to get checked out medically. Maybe they're going to use that to their advantage. Maybe not to push certain things as we get closer to future court dates. But that's exactly what went down inside. And he even said too, when we talk about being treated the same as everybody else.
Yeah.
Being Venezuelan citizens, they're also not familiar with the American justice system. And as they were sitting inside, the judge asked Maduro, are you Nicolás Maduro? And he just went into this long thing about how he is innocent, and how he was captured from his home in Venezuela, in Caracas, and the judge had to shut him down and say, we'll get to that eventually. I'm just asking you to identify yourself. So they're really not familiar. Of course, they're not from this country. They were captured overnight and brought here. So it's just an interesting take.
It really is. And he said reportedly that I'm not a prisoner, I'm a prisoner of war, as he was taken out. But in terms of Mrs. Maduro, what was she wearing? They
were both wearing the same outfit, both prison garb, both
Really?
Orange underneath and a black shirt over it. And they both had their headphones on, listening to the interpretation, and she had her hair pulled back in a bun.
Like that, and no jewelry, everything.
No jewelry, right.
Just your basic prison. So there was no special accommodations for any
course
wardrobe
not.
or stylist or anything like that. All right, we're going to take a short break. This is Newsroom Live. I'm Lisa Evers. I'm joined by my colleague, reporter Michelle Ross, who's inside the courthouse, and also criminal defense and federal trial attorney Adam Conta.